Kennedy is up next. Her question, it says, I'm struggling with this decision for my next investment. Should I put $100K in real estate or a lump sum into an index fund? Do we have any systems that might help her make this decision?
Yeah,
and then also, do you have any opinions?
How do we think through that? 100K in real estate or 100K in index funds? Now, this is the part I got to do. I got to say, hey, Kennedy, we don't know your specific situation. We don't know the unique circumstances that you... Hey, Kennedy, my name's Bo. We don't know your unique circumstances or the unique circumstances that surround your situation. So because of that, we cannot provide specific advice to you. But what we can tell you is how you ought to go about thinking through this. And whenever we think about, man, okay, I've got some money. What do I need to do with my next dollar? We have a tried and true 9-step system that we call the financial order of operations. If you want this free deliverable, you can go to moneyguide.com/resources, or if you want to do a deep dive on the course, you can go to learn.moneyguide.com that walks you through, okay, what should I be doing with my next dollar? So Brian, let's break this down here. Where would Kennedy need to be if with this $100,000, the decision that she ought to make or he ought to make would be to do real estate?
You got to make sure you're through steps 1 through 7 and you've actually landed on step number 8 of the financial order of operations. And the reason, it's pretty simple. I mean, the early steps, getting that free money from the employer, we're paying off the high interest debt, we're making sure you have your emergency reserves set up with step 4. And then we love the huge tax benefits on the tax-free growth of step 5. We like maxing out those tax-favored employer plans with step 6. 7 is thinking about the 3 buckets. When are you going to retire? When are you going to need this money? So you can go ahead and start thinking about whether it's taxable accounts, like brokerage accounts, whether it's tax-deferred retirement accounts, like traditional, or if it's after, if it's Roth or tax-free accounts. So step 8 is where I always talk about, this is where the wealthy people behaviors are. These are the abundance goals. After you get through the basics of 1 through 7, now's when I think real estate fits in nicely, because you got to have deep pockets underneath you to do real estate well. I mean, it's, you guys know, we took a month and a half off of recording in this studio because unbeknownst to us, when we were just trying to replace the roof on this building, they found a structural issue. Mm-hmm. And we had to make a very large investment into fixing the structural issue before we could...
It did not make the building any more valuable.
Yeah, it's not like nobody will ever
revenue.
See what we did, but yet it was a close to 6-figure repair. Mm-hmm. I mean, and so if you don't have the pockets to digest those things, and that's what I don't love about I love real estate. Mm-hmm. I should qualify. I love real estate. I love investing in real estate, but it has a time and a place. And I follow quite a few successful real estate people, and even somebody who does it for a living. Like, I just don't get why people talk about real estate investing as passive, because it's to do it well. It is not a passive endeavor typically. So that's why it needs to be more of a step 8. You've got to have deep enough pockets to do it well, to have success, because unlike financial markets have what's called V-shaped recoveries, meaning that, yes, people panic, they freak out, it goes down, but it quickly recovers because people realize, oh, wow, in this liquid market, it's better to get back in. And so you have a very quick, steep recovery. Real estate can drag. Real estate can get beat up and then just drag at the bottom and not really do anything for 3, 4, 5 years. Mm-hmm. And that's why if you got into a prolonged bad time in the real estate marketplace, because maybe there was a big inflation run up, interest rates were at all-time highs, and real estate values just weren't going up like they had historically because of some of those other outside things, you might find that it wasn't everything you thought. You need to have enough money in the bank to cover whatever might be going on. Because what happens, because a lot of times real estate's leveraged, you have to go get a mortgage to buy it. What happens if it takes you longer to get a renter, or if you have somebody leave before you've got it really under control?
Yeah, the only thing I'm going to add, I'm going to do a little foo plus up here, is the other thing I'd want to know about your situation, Kennedy, is what does your total financial picture look like? Because you may very well be following the foo, and you may have income that allows you to work through the first 7 steps pretty well. But if your total net worth is $300,000, you just did your net worth statement, total net worth is $300,000, and a big portion of that is home equity that's already in your current home, and now you're thinking about going to do a $100,000 real estate investment, you don't have an incredibly large liquid financial foundation. You have an illiquid home equity, illiquid asset and home equity in your primary residence, and then you maybe have started some of the other investment accounts. Make sure that you are investing in real estate, that $100,000 real estate. You have a big enough foundation built underneath you that it makes sense for you to start getting into illiquid assets like that so that you can cover that. Far too often, I see young folks who have very high incomes who go max out all their accounts. And they're like, hey, great, max out my 401k. Now I'm going to jump in this real estate thing. I still think that may be a little early, unless maybe $100,000 will buy you a paid for place that's going to cash flow or something like that. But I don't know that that's the case necessarily in today's world.